My mother-in-law booked a villa in Tuscany for the whole family, but somehow the reservation only had 6 beds for 7 people. Greta announced this over speakerphone while my husband and I were driving to the airport, her voice bright with that particular enthusiasm she reserved for plans that would inconvenience everyone but her. "It'll be cozy," she chirped, like a real Italian family. I could hear the smile in her voice, that careful brightness that made disagreement feel like betrayal. The villa was stunning, I'll give her that. Honey-colored stone worn smooth by centuries, lavender bushes flanking the gravel driveway, their scent heavy in the afternoon heat. Cypresses stood sentinel against an impossibly blue sky. We arrived last, after Greta and Leonidas, after my husband's brother Reese and his wife Calla, after my husband's sister Imogen had already claimed the room with a clawfoot tub and the view of the vineyards. "We thought you two could take the daybed in the study," Greta said, not quite meeting my eyes. "You're young, you don't need as much space." The daybed was meant for a child, maybe a very small child. My husband opened his mouth, then closed it, that familiar calculus playing across his face. Was this the hill worth dying on? It wasn't about the bed, not really. It was about the pattern, the small ways Greta had spent 5 years arranging our lives around her comfort. The Christmas we'd had to cancel our trip to see my parents because she'd already bought non-refundable tickets to a resort. The way she'd announced our pregnancy to her book club before we'd told my own mother. The renovation of her kitchen that had somehow required us to host every family dinner for 6 months. That first night, I woke at 3 a.m. with my husband's elbow in my ribs and my feet hanging off the end of the daybed. Through the window, the Tuscan countryside was silver with moonlight, almost painfully beautiful, the kind of beauty that made discomfort feel ungrateful. I thought about the next 6 days stretching ahead, about the communal breakfast where Greta would critique how I cut tomatoes, about the group excursion she'd already planned without asking anyone's preference. In the morning, I found Leonidas in the kitchen, making coffee with the kind of quiet competence that suggested he'd perfected the art of being unobtrusive. "The daybed's not working out, is it?" he said. I tried to deflect, but he held up a hand. "Greta means well, but she forgets that meaning well isn't the same as doing well." He smiled, tired around the edges. "Reese and Calla have 2 doubles in their room. I already talked to them. They're switching with you." "You don't have to." "I do, actually." He poured 2 cups, handed me one. "Someone does." When Greta discovered the switch, she was hurt in that diffuse atmospheric way that filled every room, but she didn't fight it. Maybe because Leonidas had made it clear this wasn't negotiable, or maybe because even she could recognize the optics of forcing her son and daughter-in-law onto a child's bed while everyone else sprawled in comfort. The rest of the trip unfolded in that space between tension and truce. We toured vineyards, ate pasta under string lights, watched the sunset from the villa's terrace while the hills turned gold and the air cooled. Greta still corrected my Italian pronunciation and questioned my choice to skip the morning hike, but Leonidas quietly shifted the dynamic, creating small pockets of space where my husband and I could simply exist. On our last evening, I found him on the terrace again, glass of wine in hand. "Thank you," I said, "for the room. Thank you for not making my son choose between his mother and his wife." He studied his wine. That's not a choice anyone should have to make. It wasn't a transformation. Greta would still book things without asking, still assume her preferences were universal. But something had shifted, just slightly. The acknowledgement that care requires more than intention, that love without consideration is just another form of control. The villa was beautiful, the family was complicated, and the bed, in the end, was exactly the right size.